Right now on IUSTV News, IU is temporarily halting fraternity social events across campus. We'll tell you why multiple chapters are under investigation.
Plus, an IU professor says she was pulled from the classroom after a complaint on a lesson about white supremacy. We'll tell you what happened and how students in the class are responding.
But first, Thanksgiving travel is underway and experts say more people are hitting the roads instead of flying after the government shutdown. We'll show you what Hoosiers can expect.
And we've got cool temperatures here for the day and a wet week to tell you about. We'll tell you more about it coming up.
With Thanksgiving just days away, air travel in Indiana is getting busy and a little complicated. Thanks for joining us. I'm Charlie Herman.
And I'm Natalie Kahl. Despite that week's long government shutdown that just ended November 12th, AAA says more than 6 million Americans are still choosing to fly for Thanksgiving. That's up about 2% from last year.
Yeah, the FAA lifted all restrictions on commercial flights and let airlines go back to normal schedules starting Monday at 6 a.m.
But even with that green light, AAA expects more people to hit the roads this year instead of the skies.
Our Roma Ihrig is standing by for what this means for Hoosiers flying out of Indianapolis. Hey Roma, what can you tell us?
That's right, I'm here at Indianapolis International Airport, and as Thanksgiving week arises and the government shutdown impacts flights, travelers are wondering, will their flight take off? Thanksgiving week is one of the busiest travel periods of the year. Nationwide, TSA expects holiday traffic to break records, with millions of passengers flying this week. And this year, that rush comes right after weeks of uncertainty caused by the federal government shutdown. Since the shutdown began, more than 3.2 million U.S. airline passengers have been affected by the delays and cancellations.
We were a little bit stressed and anxious and weren't certain what to expect at the airport. So we got to the airport a little bit early, but we were wondering if we were going to be there for 4 hours or who knew what. Just doesn't seem necessary, nor is it fun.
And it's not just travelers feeling the strain.
I was more worried about with some of my colleagues who weren't getting paid while they were expected to still come to work. And our job sometimes can be extremely stressful. To see them have to still come in those conditions can sometimes be tough.
And with wait times and frustrations rising, he says one thing helps the most.
I've seen a lot of organizations, a lot of groups that the airport specifically stepped up to assist those who were in need during these times. So I am very proud to see us help each other.
Students heading home are encouraged to plan ahead. Arrive at least 2 hours before your flight and check your flight status with the airline before leaving. All domestic travelers must have a real ID. And at security, your shoes stay on. Remember to follow the liquids rule and pack smart. So as Thanksgiving break approaches and you're traveling home for the holidays, make sure you remember those tips to ensure you're ready if your flight is delayed. At Indianapolis Airport, I'm Roma Ihrig. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Roma. And here on campus, travel plans are already underway. Our Lila Serene is standing by to tell us how IU students are getting home for the holidays. Hey, Lila.
Thanks, guys. IU students are gearing up to head home for Thanksgiving break, and even though most flights are back to normal after the shutdown, several people told me they still have hesitation about flying. In fact, AAA expects more people to hit the roads this year instead of the skies. Here's what the students told me.
With Thanksgiving just around the corner, IU students are traveling back home for the holiday. Students who have to fly back home for the holidays, however, have some concerns about air travel.
Be able to see my family, like if it gets canceled, then I have no way to get home, obviously. So I'm just hoping that everything's good by next week.
Although the government shutdown is technically over, officials say airlines may take time before resuming to normal operations. Many students, especially out of state, are concerned about their holiday travel plans and whether or not their flights will get canceled.
I'm honestly just worried about my flight getting canceled. I've been seeing so many around TikTok and just friends and family, honestly, who've been getting canceled. So I don't really have another way of getting home. So I just hope it stays on schedule.
For this student, she plans to rely on other family members to help get her home in the event her flight doesn't stay on schedule.
My aunt is in St. Louis, so I guess my backup is just having her drive out to me. But besides that, I don't really have any other method of getting home.
While the shutdown was in place, airlines were instructed to reduce flights up to 10%, affecting passengers all across the country. Thousands of passengers experienced flight delays and cancellations, leading them to opt for other means of transportation.
We're both from New Jersey, so it's a 12-hour drive and like a 2-hour flight.
By the end of this week, officials say flights should be back to normal schedules and travel shouldn't be any more busy than it typically is around this time of year, leaving students hopeful that getting home to their families will be a breeze.
If you are heading to the airport this week, there is an airport shuttle on campus. It runs 7 days a week and rides start at $33.
Turning to weather now, Quentin is in with the forecast. What can travelers expect this week?
Well, they better be good at driving in the rain, I'll tell you that. As for us today, though, y'all got to experience today. Everybody across campus might as well have been ducks. We got 51 here in Bloomington this evening. Mostly 50s for most of southwestern Indiana. But once we get to those northern counties, getting even colder. There was even snow falling earlier today, if you all paid attention. Not everybody's a weather nerd, so I get it, you know. But anyway, it kind of snowed, it kind of rained. But as for overnight temperatures, 49 at 9 o'clock, getting down into 47 by 3 a.m. Nothing too complicated. A pretty easy day. That rain will get out of here over the night. It'll be nice. Then we get to wake up to this tomorrow. We get a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of clouds, temperatures in the mid-40s on that beautiful little dog walk, you know? It'll be a good day. As for what's coming up, we got your rain break for tomorrow. We got your good day for ducks for Thursday, and then we also got your frog choker week outlook. We'll tell you more about it coming up.
All right, Quentin, thank you. We'll check in back with you later. Back on campus now, the IU Bloomington campus is temporarily suspending all fraternity social activities. This comes after multiple fraternities had their chapters suspended for hazing and safety violations. Right now, 3 chapters are on cease and desist, 1 is under an interim directive, and several others are under investigation. Chapters can no longer host several events as an organization. This is the second time this year IU has paused fraternity social activities. Earlier, in spring 2025, all events were halted to address health and safety concerns. No sororities are on cease and desist or mentioned in the new rules. As this story continues, you can follow the latest updates on our website at IUSTV.com. And for more content, visit us on Instagram at IUSTV News for daily coverage.
Still ahead, a Bloomington man is behind bars tonight after police say they found child pornography on his phone. And staying on campus for Thanksgiving, we have the latest on which buildings are open and closed over break.
But first, IU students are speaking out after a complaint led to their professor being pulled from teaching a class on diversity.
Welcome back. An Indiana University lecturer has been pulled from one of her classes after a student raised concerns about a lesson on race.
That's right. That complaint was filed under a new Indiana law that lets students report instructors for what they believe limits freedom of expression. Our Elena Prinsinski has the story.
I'm standing outside the School of Social Work where Professor Jessica Adams was removed from teaching one of her classes after a student complained to Senator Jim Banks based on course material. The material, a pyramid of white supremacy graphic that shows examples of socially acceptable versus socially unacceptable forms of white supremacy. A student shared her reaction to Adams's removal.
Very shocking that you'd want to argue in a diversity class that talking about white supremacy and learning about white supremacy is not like incredibly vital to social work practice.
Administrators state Adams might have violated Indiana's intellectual diversity law, that professors must support free expression and intellectual diversity, and cannot discuss political opinions unrelated to their academic field. However, some students felt that this lesson was necessary.
We're supposed to learn about this stuff, and it's essential that we learn about things that make us furious or make us upset.
Students voiced that they were left in the dark in regards to the future of this class.
I just would have appreciated if the administration had been a bit more upfront with us. There's this feeling of, oh my gosh, we're like paying for a class that You know, we don't even have like an instructor for. A lot of our stuff has not been graded in weeks.
After 1 month of being removed from class, Professor Jessica Adams returned to teaching on Monday, November 17th. For IUSTV News, I'm Elena Prinsinski.
The university has not given a lecturer a timeline for when the review will be resolved. She continues to teach her remaining classes while the investigation moves forward. 6 people are in the hospital tonight after a head-on car crash on East Smithville Road. The crash happened between a white Toyota Prius and a Chevrolet Equinox on November 9th, just after 3 p.m. The Toyota crossed left of center and hit the Chevrolet head-on in the opposite direction. Emergency crew reported serious injuries from all 6 people involved, and they were taken to the hospital. No more additional information about their condition was released, and an investigation continues for more information on the crash.
A Bloomington man is in custody after police say they found child sex abuse material on his device. Greg Vaughn was arrested after an investigation by the Indiana State Police's Internet Crimes Against Children Unit. The investigation led police to believe the 57-year-old had child sex abuse material with children under 12 years old. Vaughn faces 2 preliminary counts of possession of child sex abuse material. Both counts are considered to be a level 5 felony. Vaughn has been transported to the Monroe County Jail, where he awaits additional charges.
The city of Bloomington is making it easier to shop and dine downtown this holiday season. Free parking will be available on metered streets during Thanksgiving weekend, November 28th through the 30th, and the week before Christmas, December 18th through the 24th. The city is also offering free parking in public garages, including Morton Street, Walnut Street, 4th Street, and the Trades District on select holiday dates. On campus, the Fee Lane garage will stay closed on Friday, November 21st for maintenance over Thanksgiving break. It is scheduled to reopen Monday, December 1st, but the upper level will remain closed while the work continues.
Thanksgiving break also brings new hours for many campus buildings. Wells Library will be operating between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, the 24th through Wednesday, the 26th, being closed Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday. The Student Health Center will change their hours Wednesday the 26th to 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. from their usual 8 a.m. to 4:30. The Health Center will be closed Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday. Dining halls will be closed the 22nd through 29th, with the exception of Good Body Eatery having hours from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Check out official IU websites for more information and location hours. We have Quentin back for weather, and Quentin,
Hey.
I know it's been a rainy start to the week.
It has been, brother. And you know, I say it on this TV station literally just now. Words are so hard. So everybody watching that crap, you know, or sorry for saying crap, but you know. Anyway, words are hard, but the weather is even not as hard. But anyway, temperatures in Bloomington for Wednesday, 52 degrees. Pretty much across the board, lower 50s. At least we're not in the 40s like northern Indiana, so you know, we're a little bit better. As for your Wednesday outlook, temperatures starting in the 40s, then building through the 50s throughout the day. A slight chance of sun here and there, but I'm always going to be hopeful for a little bit extra sun tomorrow. So, you know, just positive energies about the weather for tomorrow. And look at that, temperatures getting a little bit warmer for your next day on Thursday. 57, 58 to our southern counties, getting to 55 in our northern counties. It'll be a decent day, except for the rain chances. Rain chances building throughout the day, starting with around 20% at 10, getting into about 30, 40% at noon, getting into 50% to above by the time we get into the evening on Thursday. As for our 7-day outlook, again, the Ducks are going to be loving this crap because we got rain chances starting today. We got a break tomorrow. Rain from Thursday till Saturday, a slight chance on Sunday, and then again, another 20% on Monday. So, you know, again.
It's going to be real rainy for us.
Real rainy.
I know, watch out for me as a student driver going home.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the best driver, so I will be making sure I will take
I
time on the road.
I don't believe that,
I will be taking time on the road with the rain.
We have only good drivers at IUSTV.
Oh,
I
yeah.
truly believe that.
I hope, Quentin.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
I truly
Thank
believe
you.
that.
Thank you, Quentin.
Of course.
Next in sports, just one game left in the regular season, and IU football is still undefeated. Our Mike Badrov is in with an update on sports when we come back.
There's only one word to describe what happened in Indiana sports this last weekend, and that word is history. Welcome to the Sports Side. I'm Mike Badroff. Let's run down what happened in this record-breaking weekend for IU sports, starting with Indiana football. In their first ever 11-0 season with a 31-7 win over the Wisconsin Badgers, Curt Cignetti has led two phenomenal back-to-back football seasons for this school, followed with Fernando Mendoza breaking the single-season passing touchdown record with 31 touchdowns. It's a well-deserved break as Indiana heads into this weekend with no game, but will come out on Thanksgiving weekend with a chance to beat Purdue for the first ever 12-0 season in IU program history. But that's not all the records that are being broken, as Indiana volleyball is moving on with possibly the chance to get their first ever 22-win program in IU history. And that is largely part to Candela Alonso Cortez, who is now ranked 10th in all-time program wins on the IU stat sheet. Along with that, she is the program's winningest Big Ten player as IU beat Oregon and Maryland this past weekend. Congrats to that four-year senior. Moving on to IU basketball, first ever men's basketball win over Incarnate Word. Great way to start the season. And both Terry Morin and Darren DeVries have led their teams to undefeated starts. And I've never seen all football, men's basketball, and women's basketball be undefeated this late in November. They'll move on to another win as the men's team is first in Big Ten standings, and that'll about do it for Indiana sports this past weekend. And for the latest on all things IU sports, be sure to tune in each week to Hoosier Sports Night. You can catch it Thursdays on IUSTV. Guys, that's all from me on the sports side. Quinn, please give me a little bit of sunny weather instead of the rain for this upcoming week.
Well, buddy, you better be excited for tomorrow, because that's going to be the only time coming up that you're going to get it. It's pretty much Wednesday tomorrow, our only break. Enjoy it. And then pretty much from Thursday to Sunday, rain chances. Still a rain chance for Monday, but by the time we get to Tuesday, should be cleared out of here. And maybe we can get a break, but we can get gills, an umbrella, you never know. We'll figure it out.
I'm hoping at least my turkey trot 5K Thanksgiving morning, at least as long as that's clear, I'm pretty happy.
Dang, you better beat everybody, though.
I don't know about that.
You can do it.
Thank you, Quentin. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And thank you for watching IUSTV News.
For updates between newscasts, check out IUSTV.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. We're back here after Thanksgiving break. See you then.